Welcome to Digital Asset News. Take the top stories in cryptocurrency and digital assets and break them down into bite-sized pieces. I wanted to record a quick video for everybody because I am off to Brazil today for a volleyball tournament and some other festivities. Now, in light of the coronavirus, I know that it's not the fantastical idea to travel right now, but I believe if you minimize contact as much as possible, wash your hands, cover your mouth, all that good stuff, you should be okay. And we'll see what happens. But I did want to record this because I didn't want to be accused of like a Doug Polk type person. Nothing wrong with Doug Polk, just that he seems to do a lot of less videos when the market sucks. And I know he just put a message out yesterday that he is going to completely abandon his YouTube channel. But I will tell you just like this. I will not abandon or ever abandon, because it doesn't matter what really happens in the market. I will be here until the last stand. I believe that at some point, Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency market, does have value, does have utility, and is going to be necessary to push us into the future, especially what's going on with all this quantitative easing, the different market manipulation that goes on with the stock market, and what's about to happen. So I know we have all got our teeth kicked in over the last couple of days, and boy, it sucked. And I am not a channel of hopium. I will tell you when things are going good or when I think there's a bright outlook and when there's not. And I got to tell you right now, I don't see a very bright outlook moving forward. However, this is a big however, I thought that the market was going to fall way farther than what it did. I thought it was going to go below 3,000 and maybe touch 2. But I was wrong, and that's a good thing. I like being wrong on these parts, right? So if we have to take a look at the market today, it's down. It's Bitcoin 5,300, Ethereum 127, XRP 15, Tether whatever. Wow, Tether's 4. Good for them. Of course, because all the smart money is going into Tether and waiting on the sidelines. Bitcoin Cash 170, so on and so forth. So we did take a big dump, but it didn't go to $2,000, and I don't think it's over. I think there's going to be some sideways action for a bit, and then when we hear news of what's happening in the world, because everybody just got liquidated yesterday. I was listening to Data Dash, pretty smart guy, he's been around forever, and he talks about, hey, we have the coronavirus issue, but also you have to take a look at margin trading. And he's been a trader for a long time, seems to know stock to flow ratios and the different models that are out there, and definitely TA. And he just said, he's called him out, and you can watch his video from yesterday. It's around the 10-minute mark. He just says, look, trading is risky, and margin trading is even riskier. So how's that working out for you? I mean, basically, he just called out margin traders like, look, if you have to be on your game big time to make it, and if you're not, you're kind of screwing things up for yourself and the whole market because you're getting liquidated left and right. And if you have, I'd like to hear about your stories in the comment section about what happened. I believe that there are more people that got liquidated and lost a lot of money than there are people that called it right and call it at the top. Which who does that? I mean, how many people can actually do that? Very small percentage. And I don't even know if it's really that scientific or if there's a little bit of luck involved. I think it's a little bit of luck, but that's just me. So looking at the good news, I mean, yeah, we didn't go down as far as we did. I think. And I have to remind everybody this. Did Bitcoin get hacked? Did the Ethereum Foundation come out and say, you know what, it's just a big scam? Did Litecoin, Charlie come out and go, you know what, we're shutting down this project? No, nothing has changed. It's the same thing that's happened in the stock market. Nothing's really changed for businesses. It's just that there's a lot of fear going around, and that's just how it is. So look out. I think the next 90 days are going to be very turbulent, and we're going to see some sideways action, some drops, maybe a little peak here and there. But I think until we get this coronavirus wiped out and everybody gets liquidated, then we won't see some rises. And that's just what I see. So I take a look at the different articles out there, and here's my favorite, Daily Hodl. Yeah, they're pretty good. And I'm not going to go through the stories today, but Anthony Pompliano calls market conditions Bitcoin rocket fuel, confirms Morgan Creek Digital bought the dip, crypto trader Tone Vase predicts the fresh Bitcoin breakdown incoming, says he'll sell his apartment for Bitcoin if this happens. So, I mean, basically this is a guy, I mean, these guys have been in there forever, right? And they're just saying, yeah, it's going to go down, but we are going to buy like crazy at the bottom as much as they can do it, and then they're going to, hit it up later. But the big thing for me, and hope maybe for you, I don't know, this is what I'm going to do. You can do whatever you please, and let me know what you're going to do in the comments. I like to hear it. But my idea is dollar cost average in. So today I bought a little Bitcoin, bought a little Ethereum. Not that much. I didn't bet the farm because I don't know if it's going to go up or down. So I'm always dollar cost averaging in. So maybe next week it goes to 4,500 and then I buy into that. Maybe the week after that it goes to 6,000. So I buy for that. I don't want to put all my money in today or whenever. Even if it goes down to like 2,000, I'm not going to put all my money in because it could go down a little bit more. Could go up, it could go down. Don't know. But I think dollar cost averaging in is the best route. And you know what? This is another thing that Data Dash was talking about. He goes, I know there's traders out there and they follow my channel and people are margin trading, but does it really, or how are you doing in the long term? Did your trading and the stress and everything else that went around with that, did it equal out to what you could have done if you just bought and held over the long term? That's the real question I have for everybody out there who are big traders or just little traders. I don't know. Going forward, some more articles. Bitcoin price action lingers in the challenge zone. New York regulators send letters to Coinbase. Ripple Square requesting coronavirus preparedness plan. And this was the one that caught my eye. Crypto whale calls Bitcoin halving pump a fairy tale. This was good. And at first I was like, damn, this is pretty negative. This is about everybody's most hated trader. But the most notorious, I will tell you that, Joe 007, who made a ton of money, apparently, at least a couple million in the last flash crash and all that stuff. But I'm going to link it in the description, but he talks about where the real demand is equal to real supply, plus the delayed supply coming from people who held off for the magic halvening plus liquidated minor collateral. And then he says a pretty, maybe inaccurate, probably inaccurate. He said, didn't you know? It's only manipulation when the price goes down. When the price is pushed up on zero volume while the magic halvening fairy tales are fed to you, it's not an attempt to ignite FOMO and trap retail traders. No. It's organic growth and stock to flow model. It's highly scientific. And then he goes a little some more negative, but this was, I think, the crux of it. Look on the bright side. I'll be able to provide the last line of support when idiots like you finally shake off their FOMO delusion and start running around in panic, screaming out the sky is falling. And basically he says, let me see if I can find it. Yeah. So despite his sharp critique of the market, Joe says he remains bullish on Bitcoin in the long run, and he's ready to buy when the fellow traders start running around in panic. And he's right. Right now, last 3 days shook out a lot of people. And this is a great event for all the people who are just sitting on the sidelines. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea. I'll be gone in Brazil for a week, so we'll see what happens when I come back. But I believe things will eventually work out in the long term. In the short term, no. I can say this again. I think it's going to go lower. And this leads me to my last part of the video, which I sent a message to Peter Brandt. Peter Brandt, if you don't know, I've been talking about him the last 2 or 3 days. Some people like him, some people hate him, but he's just a TA guy, and he's called a lot of things right. I mean, he called the drop in 2018. I think he called another drop in 2019, but he also called the bull run where we saw 14,000 in 2019. Double check me on that one. I'm pretty sure he did. But what he said recently was he believes, he said 2 things. He said it was a 50-50 chance that Bitcoin would go to 100,000 or go to 0. And he says now that it dropped below 7,500, and this was another model, another type of TA model that him and Data Dash referenced. And he talks about once it went below 7,500, I believe it'll go to 0. So I asked him, I said, look, I'm going to do another piece on you today because you said that you would bet that Bitcoin goes to 0 after it fell below 7,500. Do you think it's a sure bet and you bet the farm, or is it more like a 50-50 bet? And he says, I have said all along for the past few years there was a 50 chance of Bitcoin going to 100K, or much more than a 50% chance it goes to zero. Now, not literally zero, because there will always be some demand for the hopeful. So maybe 1,000 and not zero. I still feel that way. So we will see. And this is interesting because we are in uncharted waters, and we will see what exactly happens here. Is it going to go to what Peter Brandt believes, since we dropped below 700 to 1,000 or below, and just the most hopeful, rosy-eyed, rainbow-colored glasses are going to pick it up? Or will it hold right here where we're at, and maybe, you know, bounce around $1,000 up and down, or maybe 2,000 up and down, and then go up after the halving at the end of 2020, or I mean, after the halving of May 2020. So we will see. And this is interesting. From what I feel, everybody has the same sentiment. It's going to drop, or it's going to be very rocky. And then as time goes on, in the long term, maybe another year or so, we're going to see a big increase. So let me know what you're going to do in the comment section below. And that is it. I'm off to Brazil. See everybody in a week. There's no scam of the day, but if you'd like to, in the comment section, just click on scam of the day, go take a look there and wipe those guys out. Hey, we got nothing else to do. My other suggestion, though, is to get out of the house. Don't look at the market, because the market's awful. And then that is it. So thanks for sticking with the rants. If you like those types of videos, there's going to be 2 on the left and right. And I will see you on the next.